Welcome to So and So, brought to you by Bernina, Made to Create. I'm Meg Goodman, and you're about to enjoy a casual conversation with a special member of the sewist and quilting community. A conversation about how they got started, what inspires them, what excites them, and their connection to this community. Annye Driscoll, known on the internet as Maker Fishmeal, is a writer, teacher, and very slow crafter. They're the author of The Ultimate Glue Guide, Finish Your Cosplay, and Ultimate Encyclopedia of Fabrics and Unconventional Materials. Their day job is as a software developer, but their life's work is creating, writing, and teaching. In their spare time, they enjoy reading, hiking, horseback riding, playing board and video games, and fencing. Adding travel to their love-to-do list, their most recent trips were solo excursions to New York City and Los Angeles. Also a museum and natural history nerd, and they are very slowly and casually working on a pop-sci book about natural history. They live in Ohio with their partner, kitties, pony, and a school of fancy guppies. Annye, welcome to So and So.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It is an absolute honor to be here.
We are thrilled that you've joined us. Now you and I met back at H&H back in May of this year, which is 2026, and
Yeah.
I am thrilled that you agreed to join us for an episode, and we have a lot of fun things to talk about. So thank you.
Yay!
Yay.
Thank you.
So, we're going to talk about a lot today, but I'm curious, so I want to start out with your internet identity, Maker Fishmeal. Tell us about the name and how you came up with it.
Okay, so it's kind of a roundabout story, but my gamer tag, so what I'm known for on video games, has always been Fishmeal. And that's kind of a silly thing. I was in my college dorm room looking around the room, like, what should I call myself for the rest of my life? And I picked up my fish. His name is Compost, Rip. The first ingredient on his food is, of course, fish meal. So for whatever reason, I thought that was a cute name for me. So when it was time to name myself as a maker, Maker Fishmeal, there it
Sure.
is. So my intention was always that people would call me fish meal because that's what people on the internet call me, like my video game pals. But people call me Maker instead, which I think is really sweet. It's like a label, like, oh, there's Maker.
And that's what you are. You
Yes,
are a maker.
yes, yes. I'm a maker hanging out with makers, but I get to be the one who's called Maker.
I love that. So as a maker, you are a sewist. How did you learn to sew, and who is your inspiration?
I didn't start as a sewist. I actually started as an armor smith, as a foam smith. So when I started doing cosplay, I was really, really focused on making armor and making swords and making hammers and making helmets. And I was like really deep into that. But you can only go so far down the armor track until you
Mm-hmm.
need a cape.
Okay.
So the first thing I made was a cape. And my mom had helped me get started in sewing. And a cape is a great first project. It's a rectangle with,
Sure.
yeah.
Sure.
So that's kind of how I got started was I was making all of these suits of armor and like epic props and stuff. And then finally it was like, all right, I guess I finally need to learn how to sew.
Mm-hmm.
And now I love it. It was a great way to come about it as like an addition to this hobby that I already loved and was getting good at.
So how did you learn to sew?
So my mom got me started, um, but unfortunately, she's not in my life anymore. So since then, it's just been all self-taught,
Mm-hmm.
which is how I would say probably most cosplayers are. We kind of just mess around until we get the result that we want
Mm-hmm.
for the weirdo thing that we're making that day.
So you are a program developer by day, and then you put on your cape at night, and you are a creator.
Yes, that's right.
I
Yeah.
can see this. When did you know that creating and teaching were important to you, and how did it change your life?
I got a computer science degree. And I did feel a sense of fulfillment from writing software. There is a creative element to writing software, but all of that creativity is digital. You know, you're typing on a keyboard. You're not really using your hands and your body to make. And I felt a severe lack of that when I first got my job. When I got my first job, I needed to be making something with my hands, not just making something with my brain. So that's how I first got into cosplay. Was, oh, here's something that I can just make with my body. And at the same time, I was getting into teaching software. So I volunteered with some like girl coding camps, and I was teaching a lot of younger kids how to code. So I was like building up these two sides of me at the same time, like the educator side in software and the maker side in cosplay. And then, you know, at a certain point, it was like, wait, I can combine these and start teaching cosplay. And that was when it was really like big light bulb moment. This is what I love.
So what was your first encounter with cosplay? Going to a convention, meetups. What was that journey like?
I actually cosplayed at my first convention that I ever went to. I came to cosplay relatively late. Most people who cosplay start cosplaying when they're very young, like, you know, 12, 13. But I wasn't really in the convention scene as a young person, and um I wasn't interested in cosplay at all.
Hmm.
But when my husband and I decided to go to our first con, and also I was looking for this craft, like something to make with my hands, that was like a moment of joining, you know, like, oh, here's my opportunity. I'm going to make something and then I'm going to show it to everybody. And also, we're going to have this amazing first experience at a dorky convention.
So you are well known in the cosplay world, and it is a very special community. Talk to us about this and what drew you to it.
So, as a community, what drew me to it was the passion. Everyone there is there because they love for the love of the craft
Hmm.
and for the love of the character. Um, and it's literally a hobby built around fandom, which
Hmm.
is passion. You know, so it just the excitement. Okay, when you're at a convention and you run into someone who's dressed as the same thing you are, that that is like an unparalleled experience.
Hmm.
That nerdy moment is so fun and so special. So that's one of the many things that I love about cosplay. Yeah, it's so special.
The community is one of great acceptance.
Yes. Yes.
And I know for this podcast, we were able to attend C2E2 in
Good.
Chicago a couple years ago. And I was just taken by the care and the acceptance that people showed toward each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah. And you know, something I love about cosplay is that there are multiple ways to do it. Like a person who buys their cosplays is just as much of a cosplayer as someone who makes them.
Hmm.
There's no They're coming from different directions, but they're meeting at the important part, which is, you know, the passion and the love and the community. Gosh, I love cosplay.
You are one who makes your own costumes. You
I do.
said some
Yes.
people buy them, some people
Yep.
make them. Tell us about some of your favorite costumes and what it took to create them. Kind of take us through this.
Yeah. So, like I said, I started out as a foam smith, which is what we call people who make armor out of foam. It's the same kind of foam that you would use for like yoga mats or
Mm,
puzzle
mm-hmm.
floor mats. I make props and armor out of that. So I started out doing that. I made like my World of Warcraft character. That was really fun. But my favorite costume is a character from a video game. Her name is Leona, and she has a giant hot dog on a stick for her sword.
Love
I
it.
I love walking around a convention with this thing. Everybody loves commenting on my giant wiener and asking about it and asking to hold it. And I it's another thing where it's just like this easy connection point of like,
Hmm.
here's this stupid thing that I made and that I put my heart into, and now I get to take it in public spaces and people love it. You know,
Hmm.
like that is just so special.
To become someone who does all of the armor out of the foam, how do you learn how to do that?
It is actually a very accessible craft. When I recommend actually if someone wants to start cosplaying that they make a little foamsmith piece because they'll find a lot of success and then they'll feel empowered to keep
Hmm.
going. So you can find lots of tutorials online. I love C&T. My publisher has a, oh my goodness, it is the most incredible foam smithing book you've ever seen. It's by Beverly Downan, who is an extremely accomplished crafter and writer. And so I would say either get Bev's book or look for tutorials by Kamui Cosplay. I think those are the best places to get started.
In the name of Beverly's book.
Cosplayer's Ultimate Guide to EVA Foam.
Okay. And what's EVA?
EVA is the specific kind of foam that we use for armor smithing specifically. We use other
Perfect.
kinds of foam to make different things, so, but that's a whole
Perfect.
nother conversation.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, my pleasure.
The cosplay culture, we've been talking about that. What is the one thing about the culture that you want our listeners to know, those who may not be familiar with it?
I want listeners to know that we as a culture do not judge. We don't have rules. We have a couple rules, which is don't paint your face the same color as someone's real skin tone. That's pretty much
Mm,
it.
okay.
So if you want to cosplay and you feel like you're not good enough, or you feel like your character is too niche, or you feel like you're too old, or you're too young, or you're too disabled, you are that is simply not true.
Okay.
This this community is for everyone. It's for every maker and it's for every not maker.
Mhm.
Um, I would love to welcome you all to this community.
I hear an invitation.
Yes, please. Attend a con with me. Let's be friends.
Okay. All right. Now, you call yourself a very slow crafter. What does that mean?
Oh man, it means that some years I don't make any costumes at all.
Okay.
I okay, so I am a craftsmanship cosplayer, which means that I am making things with the intention of it being judged, which is very fun. I love doing cosplay contests. Uh, but at a certain level of competition, you just can't make a cosplay in 2 months or even 6 months. So nowadays, I am happy to complete one costume per year. And other cosplayers are not like that. They're making a cosplay every month. Um, so I'm just the one who's writing books and making slowly, and I'm okay with that.
Okay. Okay. Now, you've said that cosplayers often come at sewing and fiber arts from an unconventional direction, and that you may sometimes struggle integrating with or being understood by conventional sewists, but you feel very strongly that it's important to grow relationships with the
Yes.
exchange of knowledge. Would
Yeah.
you tell us more about this?
So I think I'm going to make generalizations here, but I
Okay.
think one of the things that is different between a conventional like a garment sewist and a cosplay sewist is that cosplayers are making toward a reference that is probably strange. gravity defying, um, covered in armor, has very weird patterns, patterns that maybe don't exist or can't exist in real life. So a lot of times we choose our material first and then figure out how to make that garment with that material, whether that means changing the, stiffening the entire material or adding pattern to the material. Basically, what I'm saying is we're often making things out of fabrics that aren't necessarily meant for that application. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
sure, sure.
And often that means using unconventional methods. So
Hmm.
we may be gluing our hems or, um, stiffening with upholstery foam, um, things that aren't necessarily correct, but within cosplay, that's just the way you got to do it sometimes. But that also means that we're coming up with new ideas, and we're being innovative, and we're using new materials in new ways.
Hmm.
So I would love if cosplayers could learn the the tailoring and the finishing from garment sewists, and if garment sewists could learn the some of the innovation and unconventional materials from cosplayers. That's if I had my druthers, that's what I would love.
That makes sense. Now, in another facet of your life, you have a lot of diverse hobbies:
Yay.
reading, hiking, horseback riding, board and video games, and fencing. Why did you choose these? What do they give you?
I think just a person who enjoys having a lot of different things to do with my body and my brain. So I'm always looking to have an active hobby. Obviously, I own a horse, so she will always be my active hobby.
Do you ride English or Western?
I ride English. My horse
Okay,
is dressage.
okay. Oh, dressage,
Yes.
nice. Uh
Yeah.
huh.
Do you ride?
As a child,
Oh,
yes,
yeah. Yeah.
yes, and hopefully in the near future.
Oh,
Thank
congratulations.
you.
That's so fun. Um, yeah, she is wonderful. I've owned her for 13 years now. We've
What's
been
her
friends.
name?
Robbie.
Robbie.
Yeah, she's a cutie. She's very big, actually. She's not really a cutie at all. She's massive.
But they can be like little puppy dogs too.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. I have a theory that some horses are dogs and some horses are cats. And my horse is actually a cat.
Okay. What makes her a cat?
She chooses when affection is desired.
Like a
um,
cat. Okay.
yes, yes. And which is fine. She and I have had a lot of time to get to know each other and to negotiate our relationship, and I'm a cat person, so I'm happy to have a 1,500-pound cat in the family.
That's some cuddling that goes on, right?
Yes,
Hmm.
yes. On her terms, on her terms.
Indeed, indeed. Annie, tell us about your books. We mentioned three that you've written
Yes.
when we did the intro, and tell us about those. Why you chose those topics, and do you have any more in the works?
Yes. Oh, let's talk about my favorite thing, my
Okay.
pride and joy, my books.
Okay.
So my first book was The Ultimate Glue Guide. I had pitched three different books to my publisher, and we were kind of so-so on those. It wasn't like a resounding yes. And then somehow this viral post that I had made came up. Um, that was a glue guide. It was just a 10-slide Instagram post about what glue to use when.
Hmm.
And my editor was like, well, if it went viral, then people want it. And so that turned into the Ultimate Glue Guide. And it was such a good introduction to writing and to photographing for a book like this.
Hmm.
It's short. Um, it doesn't have a massive breadth, uh, like my third book does, the fabric book.
Hmm.
Book in between was Finish Your Cosplay, which is a motivation and productivity book for cosplayers. And it was just kind of my heart book. I just needed to get it out before I made another craft book. And then finally, there's the Fabric Encyclopedia. This one is so funny. I pitched to my editor a book about working with tricky fabrics for cosplay. So, like leather and slinkies and faux fur. It was gonna be specific to cosplayers and, you know, relatively small in scope. And then she came back and she was like, "Oh, can we add knits? Oh, can we add da da da? Oh, can we add da da da?" And at a certain point, it was just like, "Okay, I'm just gonna do everything," you know?
Hmm. Sure.
It was like the definition of scope creep. But so now it has every fabric that I could think of, basically, plus a bunch of non-fabrics too. So like, there's a whole chapter about sewing with paper. There's a whole chapter about sewing with foam, and it is just the greatest thing I've ever made in my life. I am obsessed with it. The photographs turned out so good. It smells really good. So, like, if you're a book smeller,
Ink on paper. Hmm.
yes, yeah.
Hmm.
And then I actually do have another book coming out. You've got the scoop, actually. I haven't
Okay.
told anyone else about this, but I have another book coming out in January, which is about how to make big props. And I'm very, very excited about that. I think some cosplayers are going to make some incredible things with what they learn in that one.
And that's January 2027.
Yes.
It will be here before you know it, right?
Oh gosh. I'm currently enjoying a break from book release. So
So when you do book release, tell us about that. That your book's ready, it's out there.
yeah.
What happens next?
There's actually a lot of preparation. Obviously, my publisher is doing all of the like manufacturing and distribution work. But for me, there's a lot of prep that goes into a book release too, because I'm scheduling interviews, I'm scheduling trips, I'm scheduling my book tour, I'm scheduling the social media of it all. Um, and then also trying to live in the moment and enjoy, like, this is my dream coming true right now. I'm so busy, but also I'm so loving it.
Hmm.
Oh, it is releasing a book and being on that whirlwind of a book tour is just indescribable. It's so fulfilling, and as a maker, to make something that helps other people make is, yeah, it's just a dream come true. There's no other way to say it.
So how do people find out about your books and where you're going to be on tour if they want to come meet you?
So I have a newsletter that you can sign up for on makerfishmeal.com, but the easiest way to follow me is probably on Instagram at makerfishmeal.
You are a self-professed natural history geek. Why natural history, and what effect does this have on your creativity?
Oh gosh, this is probably the geekiest, nichiest part of my
Mm.
of all of my loves. Okay, so have you ever been to a museum and there's rows of dioramas,
Mm-hmm.
like taxidermied animals surrounded by like plants and stuff? It used to be that this was basically the only way that regular people had to learn about the natural world outside of where they were living. And if you think about it, each of those cases, each of those dioramas is made by tens of artists. Someone designed the whole thing
Mm-hmm.
and did the layout. Someone painted the background. Someone made the rocks. Someone individually sculpted all of those plants. Someone created the sculpture for the taxidermy and then put on the hide. It is just, it's a collection of art that is informed by science and that is educating other people.
Mm-hmm.
And it has all of this history wrapped into it because it's such an old form of education and art. It's just, yeah, it's wonderful that we created all of this art to teach people about the natural world. I love it so much.
What drew you to it? When was that light bulb moment for you that this was important?
I have always been an animal lover. and interested in biology and the natural world. But the diorama thing, so my husband and I went to Chicago for our honeymoon, and the halls of dioramas in the Field Museum, which is Chicago's Natural History Museum,
Mm-hmm.
are just, I don't know, it was like a religious moment for me walking down those halls. They're dark and they're moody, and there's these little windows of artwork and history looking out at you, and it's echoing, and the light, oh my gosh, it's just, look, I'm a dork, okay?
There is no doubt in how you sound in your voice when you talk about it that there is a deep love in how it affects you.
Yeah. There's something, I think that actually the diorama thing and cosplay do have a lot in common. One of the things that I love about cosplay is that it's every single one is a combination of crafts.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always something new to learn, there's always something new to perfect. There's always another little bit of another little craft that you can pull in to your repertoire of
Mm-hmm.
making. And that's the same thing with making a diorama. It's all of these crafts put together to make a cohesive and educational piece.
Indeed. Annye, what's next for you?
I don't know. I'm living my dream right now. I haven't figured out my next dream because I am currently I'm teaching. My books are coming out. My pets are healthy and my family's healthy, and I'm so happy and content right now that I'm living in it.
Um, in our conversation today, we talked about a lot of things and you've shared so much with us. Is there a question I didn't ask that you wish I had?
I don't think so.
Okay. It has been wonderful to talk to you. Just your love of your craft and your life and just all that you have brought to yourself is infectious and contagious. And I hope we
Yeah.
all catch it. And I thank you for
I
that.
hope so too.
This has just been so much fun, Annye, and again, I'm so glad I got to meet you in person. Um,
Likewise.
and thank you. As our listeners would like to reach out to you, you mentioned before your website and Instagram.
Yes.
Remind us again the best way to reach out to you.
Yeah, so I'm on the internet as Maker Fishmeal everywhere. My website is makerfishmeal.com. And I mean it when I say, if you would like help with your costume, or if you would just like me to tell you that you look cute in your costume or that you're doing a great job, please send me a message on Instagram and I will gas you up like it's no one's business.
And I invite people when you're out on your book tour to look you up and if they go to meet you, absolutely go do that and tell Annye that you heard her on this podcast.
Yay!
Thank you again so much.
Thank you. This has been so great and such an honor.
It has been fun. Thank you. And by the way, Annye is also a segment on a previous so and so episode about the H&H show that was in Chicago back in May. So you may want to reference that episode and hear a little bit more from her there as well. Annye, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, there you have it, another story about someone just like you, someone for whom sewing is so much more than a hobby. It's a way of life and a connection to something bigger. If you know someone you think has an outstanding story, a story that should be shared on this podcast, please drop me a note to meg@soandsopodcast.com or complete the form on our website. Be sure to subscribe to, review, and rate this podcast on your favorite platform, and visit our website, soandsopodcast.com, for more information about today's and all of our guests. That's SEWANDSO podcast.com. And finally, I want to thank Bernina for making this program possible. I'm Meg Goodman, and I look forward to you joining us next time on So and So.